Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, what is up? The King of Lightning is here today, bringing you guys and gals One Piece Chapter 815 review. Now, as always, if you have not seen the live reaction, there will be an annotation right here, as well as a link in the box below. Now, this chapter of One Piece, before I get started, I do want to say that the reason why this review is coming out much later than what I would like is because I had a very busy weekend. Friday and Saturday in particular were very busy and heavy days for me because on Friday I had a wake and on Saturday I had to go to a funeral. And for me, funerals are all day. They're all day. And that was in a different state. So basically, I was very busy on those 2 days in particular. And then on Sunday, that was the big game. Spent most of my time with my friends. So it was a nice change of pace from the very heavy Friday and Saturday beforehand. It is what it is, and that's the reason why the video is coming out much later than I wanted to come out. That's number one. Number two is when it comes to the editing for this video, I'm going to keep it bare bones, all right? Your subtitle, intro, outro, done. Because, in all honesty, the editing that I did for my live reactions was awesome in most people's minds, but the fact of the matter is that it takes time. It takes a lot of time to do editing, and for the sake of efficiency right now, I'm going to leave that for my live reactions, and I hate being biased, but when it comes to my reviews, I'm going to keep them bare bones. It's going to be classic vlog reviews, alright, just classic. So that for me works the best right now. But when it comes to things like live reactions, theory/discussion videos, top 10s when I get to them, versus when I get to them, and other types of videos like that, I'm going to focus more on editing. That's probably what's going to happen at this point in time. And reviews are going to be just classic. So, that being said, alright, let's focus on this chapter of One Piece! Whoa! today! Yay! Okay, so listen, here's the thing. In this chapter, what we find out about Sanji, about his daddy apparently is a monster. Germa 66, which by the way, people have been mentioning how the 6 is actually the number of representation of Sanji's spiral eyebrows, which is, that's kind of cool. It is pretty cool. Someone stated that the Germa 66, Germa 66, is actually some type of military faction that actually exists. I think either in Germany or in the States, something like that. Like the 66 division of something. I forgot what it was exactly. But either way, fact of the matter is that people have been correlating the Germa 66 with actual military factions that exist within history, or that exist now. And also, Sanji's papa, the VInsmoke family, they are the head of this Mythical Evil Army, Warmonger, that exists within the underground broker system. So that's fairly intriguing. And what I do want to point, it's not just what's said about Sanji's father and the VInsmoke family. You have people like Capone and Pekoms be relatively not on edge, but they're weary. Because they understand that if wrong moves are made, you're going to piss off some very powerful people. And I think because we know that Capone and Pekoms are Big Mom's subordinates, we can kind of gauge as to how Big Mom is perceiving the VInsmoke family. And she's not taking them lightly at all. I'm going to assume that this person is at least as threatening as, let's say, someone who is near Yonko level. I mean, I've said it before and I say it again. To me, there are certain people that are in between the level of Yonko and Admiral. There's a gap in between here where I'd put people like Mihawk. Mihawk I'd put in there easy, alright? But there could be other characters that reside within the world that also fit in this mold, where they're not as powerful as Yonko, but they're more powerful than admirals. And so Sanji's father, who is the head of this Germa 66 evil mythical army, he may be one of those people. Because Big Mom, based on what's been going on here with Capone and Pekoms, and based on the invitation and the marriage, and how she probably wants to have this blood tie with the VInsmoke, so she has him in her good graces, she's on her toes. Even though her body's massive, she's pulling a ballerina here. And she's lifting up like 500 pounds of way more than that. She's fucking huge. She's like 3 tons or whatever, man. You get my point, all right? She's elevating herself on her tippy toes somehow, some way, okay? So that's what I'm getting here from Sanji's dad, and it's fascinating. And character-wise, I mean that's really. Well, then there's Zoro, who Luffy makes the inference that he is actually worried about Sanji, but he's like, no, I don't really care about him, man. What are you talking about, Luffy? I'm gonna kick your ass. Like, no, he's straight up bullshit. He cares. He clearly cares about what happens to Sanji. So that was comical. There is something that I do want to also mention here. Carrot. You know what? I'm gonna quote it for you because I did save the page here, right? Luffy says, as long as it's just me and this guy, I might be able to sneak into the tea party and ruin the ceremony. And then Peckham says, get real. You're expecting me to bring an enemy home with me? And then Carrot says, wow, that sounds like fun. So, infiltrating Big Mom's tea party, trying to sneak out Sanji, or at least ruin the ceremony. Wait, so infiltrating Big Mom's tea party and ruining the ceremony, therefore getting on Big Mom's bad side, getting on a really, really, really bad side, sounds like fun? Carrot, she's wild and crazy. Clearly. That's like, whoa. Like, Wanda's like, it's not a game. It's not a game. What are you talking about? But when she said that, I'm thinking either two things. Number one, she may go with Luffy now. She may actually go with Luffy. Because it won't be that surprising if some of the Mink will assist the Straw Hats in this particular endeavor, because they do owe Sanji and company a lot for saving their entire race. That's number one. Number two is, oh god, I would hate this. I would fucking loathe this. Oh man. But Carrot for next Straw Hat? Maybe? Oh, shit. It's like no, but like the way she's like saying that, like, oh, it sounds like fun, yeah. Now granted, we don't know much about her. As far as I know, she does not fit the requirements to be a Straw Hat, but because you need to have some type of like goal in the grand scheme of things and whatnot. But she does seem to be very ballsy and adventurous. Like, oh, whoa, like you guys gonna go in Big Mom? Yeah, whoa, it sounds like fun. Like, what? All she needs is a sob story, and then all of a sudden we have a clear contender for Straw Hat. But no, it's a Mink. Oh, like, the furries wouldn't stop. It would just be, oh god, no. But whatever. All right, you get my point. You get my point. Also on the side of characterization would be Big Mom in this chapter. And Big Mom in this chapter, she has this amazing intelligence gathering system. Like, it's amazing, all right? She gets a lot of data. She has a very powerful network. And Pekoms, he broadens it out to how it's all the Yonko. But to me, I don't think Shanks actually cares, honestly. But at the same time, when it comes to Big Mom specifically, no doubt, she is very good at gathering data. And it comes down to her knowing, the Big Mom pirates knowing that Sanji, he was in the Kamabaka Kingdom. The Zeph thing, okay, fine. That's not a huge thing. People probably talked about it before in East Blue. But the fact that she knew about the Kamabaka Kingdom, that's where I'm like, whoa. How in the hell did she find that out? That's crazy. That's absolutely nuts. Kuma just smacked the dude there. And voila, poof, he's in this area. And for 2 years he was training there. But how did Big Mom know? Big Mom must have spies all over the damn globe, including in that area. She must, because that's insane. That's absolutely crazy. So the thread here is that if Sanji does not go, and when you dishonor Big Mom is a very generous person. She'll send you a present, but not of goodies and treats, but of the head of someone that you know. Someone that you know has their head stuffed into a box. What's in the box? Has a head stuffed into a box in a nicely neat wrapped package. Present for Sanji. Oh, what's this? And boom, it's Zeph's head. Like, shit, no. That's crazy. So Sanji, he cannot afford to risk other people's lives because he won't go to the tea party. So he has to go to the tea party. He just has to. And keep in mind, that's just Big Mom. If it's the VInsmoke, I mean, they're assassins, okay? They're assassins. That's what they do for a living. That's how they put the bread and butter on the table. They kill motherfuckers, okay? So understand that, if Big Mom is going to give you a present of just one person's head, then the VInsmoke, I mean, dude, like, could you, what? Like, the VInsmoke may just go and find someone like Duval, be like, you know Sanji, right? Like, yeah, I know the young Maxter. And then they just kill Duval and all the flying fish riders. Like straight up. That's what I'm saying. Like, yo, it's crazy. Yeah, I mean, Daddy may not fuck around. So, again, this is for the characterization of Big Mom. And that's really it for characterization. Pacing-wise, I mean, basically, it's mainly dialogue between Luffy and Pekoms, and then it shifts to Luffy and Nekomamushi, and then Luffy and Law, and then finally it's the Three Stooges, Brook, Robin, and Frankie failing at their roles. Nothing too big when it comes to pacing. It's overall okay, because mainly it's Luffy dialogue. And then after that, you have the story progression, where now you have this Wano Kuni stuff going on, where the Wano Kuni boys, they have now reached the top of Zunisha, and they're going to go into the Zou country. And it's kind of like, shit, okay. And E.T. is hauling ass, like, everybody, the samurai are here, and they're just like, oh shit, this is a problem. This is a goddamn problem. Because clearly, they are still scarred by Jack's actions, obviously. That's not going to end anytime soon. So, they're going to have some beef. And I'm thinking, well, we may have, if something does break out, if something does happen, Luffy may have to hockey up. He may have to pull out some Conqueror's hockey and just, and then just saying, because some of these guys are really wounded. He's knocked out, what was it, like 50,000 people in one go. So, if most of these mink are wounded, they're going to be easy to knock out hockey-wise, with the exception of guys like Nekomamushi and Inuarashi. But since it's daytime, Inuarashi is going to be the one that's going to be dealing with all this stuff. And that is the chapter. So, the chapter rating overall, it was overall a good chapter, like an okay plus to good chapter. So, I'm going to give it that rating. And also, I do want to say, if Oda, he is. Since I think it's very obvious that Ichiro Oda is elevating both Big Mom and Kaido simultaneously at this point in time, what may happen is we have a situation where Luffy and some of the Straw Hats, I'm going to say Luffy, Nami, and Brook, those three in particular are going to go after Sanji. And I say those three because, well, Nami and Brook haven't got any spotlight because there was 1.5 years where they weren't shown, just like Sanji. And also, Brook is hiding shit. So, Brook, you better be talking real soon, because you know something. You know something, Brook. But either way, those three are going to go probably after Sanji and company. Chopper has to stay there because he's a doctor, and the mink are wounded. So he just can't leave his patients. But we may see Jack somehow, some way, come back to Zou. And all of a sudden, you have Law and Zoro be the frontrunners against Jack the Drought. And then you have Luffy, Brook, and Nami dealing with Big Mama and Germa 66, okay? And trying to ruin the tea party, which Big Mom is not going to appreciate in any way, shape, or form, most definitely. So that's it. The chapter, once again, is going to be a okay plus to good, and I am done. So King Lightning, Rate the video, comment, subscribe, share, do all that fun stuff. And peace. Have a nice goddamned day.